Hello and welcome to my predictions video for tonight's and tomorrow night's, because it's the the first ever two-night WWE SummerSlam premium live event that takes place this evening and tomorrow evening. So let's just jump right into it. It's a big show because there's two nights, there's 6 matches on each night, so lots to predict. And I genuinely don't know exactly who and what I'm going to predict. I don't plan these videos out in advance, so let's see what we do. I've got the Wikipedia page open there, and I'm just going to work my way down the list, starting on night 1 and then moving my way into night 2. So the first match listed here on night 1 is Tiffany Stratton defending the WWE Women's Championship against Jade Cargill. Now, this one is already quite tricky to predict, in my opinion. Tiffany Stratton's had a good, decent length run with the title now. She won back in January, right, when she cashed in on Nia Jax. So she's been over 6 months with the title, so it's not one of those early defenses where there's very little chance someone's going to lose the title already because, why are they going to win the title if they're not going to at least defend it a couple of times? So it's not one of those, but Jade won Queen of the Ring. She's been very dominant of late and has finally been elevated to that main event singles title scene. This is very, very tricky. I'm going to predict Jade Cargill to win, I think. This is one of the trickier matches on the entire card to predict. I could definitely see something crazy like Naomi costing Jade, or like Bianca turning on Jade, something along those lines. I could see something like that happening for Tiffany Stratton to retain. But I think the easiest, the path of least resistance, is just to put the title on Jade now and have stories build from there. So that's what I think they're going to do. I'm not confident, though. Probably 1 confidence point if I was doing this with Steven Larson. But yeah, Jade Cargill to win. Next match, Randy Orton and Jelly Roll versus Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul in a tag team match player. I find this really hard to care about. I love Drew McIntyre. I've loved Drew McIntyre for years and years and years at this point. I've really liked Randy Orton throughout basically his entire career, even when not everyone was super keen on him. But this is just a waste of them. Like, Logan Paul, I've got no interest in. Jelly Roll, he's doing well for what he's being asked to do in his defense, but I don't care. I don't care about Jelly Roll being in a WWE match at SummerSlam. Just feels like a waste of Drew and Randy, to be honest. But here we are. So, who's going to win? I really want Randy Orton to win, just because that means Logan Paul isn't. And WWE, this isn't me having great heat with Logan Paul and he's such a good heel. I just want him to go away. But, if he's going to be there, let him lose a bunch. But, I don't know, the fact that the two heels are both wrestlers, I feel like they should win, right? Like, Jelly Roll should be a weak link. I don't know, it depends how they want to do this. If they want to have some kind of slightly unbelievable feel-good moment, Jelly Roll could get the win here. But I think, for realism's sake, Drew and Logan Paul should win. Don't want Logan Paul anywhere near any wins, but I also don't want Drew losing, especially not in a celebrity match on SummerSlam. Next, we've got Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez defending the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship against Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. Now, this one's interesting to me because I don't know if I think this Charlotte and Alexa partnership is ever going to be champions, or is it going to disintegrate really quickly because they lose here? I think because it's been picking up steam really well and been getting some really positive reactions for Charlotte Flair, ruining my plans for a video for this channel, by the way. Thanks, WWE. I think I think Charlotte and Alexa are going to win the tag titles here. Yeah, I think so. I think it makes sense. I mean, the problem is I don't really know who they go on to feud with, but I also don't know who Roxanne and Raquel go on to feud with if they retain. Like, the women's tag division has been a joke since it was reinstated, to be honest. It's never really got fully off the ground, up and running as a proper division. Tag team wrestling in WWE in general is not treated that well. But, yeah, I mean, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, if any two people can come together to elevate the tag team championship, I mean, Charlotte Flair's like a, 14-time champion? Alexa Bliss must be 4 or 5-time champion, you know, like, in the singles divisions. And Alexa Bliss has won tag gold before. I think Charlotte might have, actually, as well. With, like, Asuka or someone? Anyway, blah, 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 blah. The point is, I think they could elevate these titles. Unless the plan is for Judgment Day to hold all the gold for a while, I see no reason to not have Charlotte and Alexa win here. Up next, Roman Reigns and Jey Uso versus Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed. Another tricky one, right? Because Jey Uso and Roman Reigns are two of the most popular guys in the entire company. They are top dogs. But gotta elevate those younger talents as well. And Bron Breakker is like the top dog next, right? So he could do with like a massive win here. The question is, do I think he can, at this point in his career and the way that Roman Reigns and Jey Uso are treated on WWE TV, do I see him beating either of them? Or is it just much more likely that one of them pins Bronson Reed, unfortunately? I think it's much more likely that one of them pins Bronson Reed. And so, with that in mind, I guess I'm going to have to predict Roman Reigns and Jey Uso. I would much prefer to see Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed win, though. Next, we've got Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross in a singles match with a stipulation where if Kross wins, Sami Zayn has to say the words "Kross was right," and if Zayn wins, then Kross has to say "I was wrong." Karrion Kross has been gaining steam recently on TV. He's been gaining a swell of crowd support, and has ended up on SummerSlam for it. So kudos to him. Very pleased for him. I've always liked Karrion Kross, even when other people have been pretty low on him. Even when his booking wasn't great, I've always thought I've always remembered the good stuff and the potential he has. Do I see him beating Sami Zayn here? It's kind of a bit more interesting story-wise, right? If Zayn has to admit that Kross was right and what that means. I mean, does he just have to say the words, or does it mean Kross was right and Sami Zayn does have to turn to the dark side a little bit to achieve his goals? I think that's the more compelling story, but there's rumours of Karrion Kross's contract being up soon. There's a disparity in levels between these two guys in terms of booking and presentation, not necessarily... Well, also in terms of talent, because as much as I love Karrion Kross, Sami Zayn's one of the absolute best in the world, and has been for many, many years. So I'm going to have to go Sami Zayn to win, but I would much prefer to see Karrion Kross win this if they can tell a compelling story with it going forwards. And finally, the final match listed for night 1 of SummerSlam is Gunther defending the World Heavyweight Championship against CM Punk. Now this one's interesting, right? There's all the speculation about Seth Rollins' injury, and is it legit? And if it's not, is he going to cash in? Is he just going to cost Punk? There's a lot of ways this match could go. First of all, that we should not discount, is Gunther could just beat Punk. Just straight up. Could just beat him. I don't think that's beyond the realms of possibility. CM Punk's nearly always been protected in losses since he's returned to WWE, but Gunther is booked pretty strong in terms of results. So, even if his booking always hasn't been the best, when he was World Heavyweight Champion first time round, he always wins, and wins convincingly for the most part. But if Seth Rollins' injury is not legitimate and he's not out of action for months and months and months, which is the prevailing theory at the moment on the internet, then does Seth just straight up cost Punk? Does Punk win and then Seth cash in? Does Seth cash in and make it another triple threat, just like his last cash in, and win the title, winning this match? Kind of like the thing that's putting me off that theory is the fact that Naomi just did it last month on the women's side at Evolution, so it's kind of like it's a bit too similar. I think Seth is going to affect the outcome of the match somehow. He's either going to stop Punk winning, or Punk's going to win and then Seth's immediately going to cash in. But I think the most likely scenario is Gunther wins, right? I think the cashing in for a triple threat is too much like what happened last month at Evolution. I think Punk winning for Seth to just cash in on him feels like Seth has kind of failed in what he said, which was that he was never going to let Punk get near the World Championship again. Well, he's let him win it before he's cashed in, so that feels like a bit of a fail if he's fit. And I think if he's unfit, I think Gunther just beats Punk. So, with that in mind, I'm going to pick Gunther. Which I don't know if that's a popular pick. In fact, I saw online that the betting odds are strongly in favour of Punk. Currently, as I record this in the middle of the afternoon, 4 PM UK time it is. Betting odds favour CM Punk, but I'm going with Gunther. What of it? What you gonna do about it, you know? Now, on to night 2. Starting with the triple threat for the Women's World Championship. Naomi defending against Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. Naomi's going to retain here. She's only just won the title. Rhea Ripley and Io Sky have this, like, their own little story going on, and I think they're going to be too focused on each other and cost each other. And Naomi's gonna pick up the win, probably quite opportunistically. But I think Naomi just retains her. Like, she's done too good work for too long, and been too well received as Miss Money in the Bank and as champion since cashing in, to just drop it in the first defense like less than a month later. Like, no. I think Naomi wins. Next we have Becky Lynch defending the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship in a no disqualification, no count out last chance match, it's listed as here. I mean, no disqualification usually implies no count out, but yeah, the last chance bit, Lyra Valkyria cannot challenge Becky Lynch again if she loses here. And that is why I think she's going to lose to Becky Lynch. I think this story needs to reach its conclusion at this point. If she wins the title back, do we just have to do another match and blah 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 blah. I think Becky Lynch retains here. Lyra Valkyria might even end up moving over to SmackDown. There's a rumored draft coming up soon, and I think Lyra could definitely move across and up onto SmackDown. She could either go US title and stay there, or she could move up and be an early challenger for Jade Cargill. Or if Tiffy does retain, she'd be a good challenger for Tiffany Stratton as well. So yeah, I'm going to pick Becky Lynch to retain the Intercontinental Championship. Whew, another tricky one coming up next. Solo Sikoa versus Jacob Fatu in the steel cage for the United States Championship. So, Solo's just won the title. If he loses it back to Jacob, he just looks weak, right? He won it with lots of interference from the MFT, as they called, My Family Tree. And cage matches have never stopped anyone interfering before. And also, does Jacob Fatu really need or gain anything from winning back the United States Championship at this point? Or is it going to be a bit of an albatross? I know he only had a short reign, but I feel like a lot of people in that I feel that Jacob Fatu is going to be a main eventer this time next year. Like, an absolute top guy. Like, right near the top of the card. Does the United States Championship really aid that? I mean, it gives him something to do. It means they might not, like, forget about him booking-wise and what have you, but how do you forget about Jacob Fatu? So, this is a real difficult one, but I'm actually going to pick Solo Sikoa to retain. I think there'll be interference. I think Tala Tonga will probably end up inside the cage. Solo will retain. Jacob Fatu can go and fight Tala, get a big win over him, and then move on to bigger and better things. Or maybe even then go back to Solo and win the title back after Solo's got a few defenses under his belt. But yeah, I'm going to pick Solo Sikoa. I I know they don't treat Solo like the biggest, most serious threat these days, but he's very entertaining. He's very good at what he does. I think he deserves a little bit of a reward for that, and a 1 month pity US title reign doesn't feel like that. You know, he needs a bit more of a significant reign, in my opinion. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Solo Sikoa, which again is probably an unpopular pick. Next up, Dominic Mysterio defending the Intercontinental Championship against AJ Styles. I think Dom retains here. I think shenanigans abound, but I don't necessarily see AJ needing or really having an Intercontinental title reign at this stage in his career. I think he's gonna pull a great match out of Dom. Dom can go, but AJ can elevate pretty much anyone he ever steps into a ring with, right? So I think he's gonna like produce some magic with Dom, and then there'll be like probably Roxanne Perez will end up costing him. And who knows? Fingers crossed, we might get the Liv return. Maybe. I don't know how long Liv is supposed to be off TV for now. But the Liv return could be a really interesting angle. They could do it without the title as well. But I think Dom as IC champion is working at the moment, and it's working, but he probably hasn't had the best run in terms of giving him credibility. So I think he could do with going a little bit longer. So yeah, Dominic Mysterio to win. Next, the tables, ladders, and chairs match for the WCW, the WWE Tag Team Championship, featuring every team on SmackDown. Wyatt Six defending against Andrade and Rey Fenix, DIY, Fraxium, Motor City Machine Guns, and the Street Profits. Yeah, 6, that's right. 6 teams. And this one's really hard to predict because the Wyatt Six are obviously going to be booked quite dominant with the way their gimmick is, and they have been. But this match is like one of those where they've made the environment so chaotic that no one's going to look bad for not winning this match. The Wyatt Six don't have to take a pin. You know, it's just someone scrambles and gets the titles. And I feel like that's really well suited to giving Fraxium their first run with the WWE Tag Team Championship, personally. So I'm going to pick Fraxium. I think it's very possible that the Wyatt Six retain here as well, but I'm gonna pick Fraxium. It's the SmackDown tag division is orders of magnitude better than the Raw tag division, but it's still very much just a bunch of teams bickering and then one of them getting a title shot and repeat. And then every so often they put on some mad match like this with a bunch of teams in. They only just had a TLC match like a month or two ago on SmackDown, right? But yeah, I think this will be really, really fun. This will probably steal the show because it's going to be an absolute car crash in the best way possible. But yeah, I think this is well suited to Fraxium. I'm going to pick them to win. And finally, the newly babyface, John Cena, who turned babyface by cutting a promo declaring himself babyface, effectively. But yeah, he's defending the undisputed WWE Championship against Cody Rhodes in a street fight. Does John Cena's apparent face turn make me think he's more likely to win? Because this whole build, I've been so sure that Cody Rhodes is going to win back the title. I don't think it does, really, because if it's sincere, babyface John Cena hasn't won a damn thing in years at this point. Like, he was already heel when he won the Elimination Chamber because of, not because he'd officially turned, but because of the way he capitalized on the stomp that Seth gave to Punk. He was already showing those heelish tendencies, and then since then, he's been on a roll, but he's been bad guy John Cena. Good guy John Cena hasn't won anything. He didn't win the Rumble. He got demolished by Solo Sikoa. He lost to Roman Reigns. He's lost to, I don't know, a bunch of people when he's showed up. He just keeps losing. So if he is genuinely babyface Cena, I think he loses. I think Cody Rhodes is going to show a bit of an edge and less mercy in this match, and maybe not fully turn heel, but show those tendencies, show those ruthless tendencies, and they might be sort of doing it to gauge the crowd reaction because they're deliberating a heel turn for Cody at some point. If John Cena's face turn is not sincere, I feel like the thing that's coming is John Cena trying to like low blow Cody catching it, and then probably low blowing Cena and then hitting a crossroads and winning, or something along those lines where Cody finally is willing to pull the trigger on Cena, basically. Maybe even a title shot to the face, like, because it's John Cena, that's what he's been doing. So either way, I do still think Cody Rhodes is going to win. Be interesting to see exactly how it plays out, though. I expect this match to be orders of magnitude better than their WrestleMania main event. Couldn't be much worse. So, fingers crossed. So, let's just run down those results, those predictions really quickly again. I've got Jade Cargill winning the WWE Women's Championship from Tiffany Stratton. I've got Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul beating Randy Orton and Jelly Roll. I've got Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss taking the Women's Tag Team Championship from the Judgment Day. I've got Roman Reigns and Jey Uso beating Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. I've got Sami Zayn beating Karrion Kross. And I've got Gunther beating CM Punk to retain the World Heavyweight Championship. Then on night 2, I've got Naomi successfully defending the Women's World Championship. I've got Becky Lynch successfully defending the Women's Intercontinental Championship. I've got Solo Sikoa successfully defending the WWE United States Championship. Got Dom successfully defending the Intercontinental Championship. And then I've got Fraxium winning the WWE Tag Team Championship and Cody Rhodes winning the undisputed WWE Championship. So, that's all 12 of my predictions. Let me know in the comments what you think. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe. I'll be doing a review. I might even do 2 reviews. We'll see how it goes. I might do like a review tomorrow of night 1 and then a review on Monday of night 2. Or I might save it all to Monday. We will see. Currently in the schedule that I have on my laptop, it looks like just 1 review on Monday. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see if I feel like the desperate urge to talk about night 1 tomorrow. But yeah, subscribe either way so you don't miss it. And yeah. Thank you very much for watching. As always, I've been EBEZA. You've been amazing. And I'll see you next time.